I think we are live. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if we're live. Seems like we are. We are blazing. What is up, everybody? Or nobody, rather. Nobody in here, but okay. First stream. We're doing it, man. We are doing a best ball. Superflex Bestball draft. On FFPC, as you guys know, I am searching for my fucking tabs. Command center. We're at the command center. We're checking the stream, checking the audio quality. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hope you can. Let's see. Seems like you guys can hear. For my fucking tabs. First live stream, boys. It is going to be a rocky endeavor. Command center. Sure. We're at the command center. We're checking the stream, checking the audio quality. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hope you can. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Listening to myself talk is hella weird. First live stream, boys. It is going to be a rocky endeavor. Command center. Sure. We're at the command center. All right, so we are doing an FFPC Superflex draft. We're gonna look at the rules just so that you guys see exactly what the rules are, so you know while I'm drafting, we know what the hell is going on, because the rules are a little bit different when it comes to these FFPC drafts. It's Superflex. All right, let's go through it. Where are the fucking rules at? Official rules. Here we go. Let me change the scene so you guys see what I see. All right. 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, a flex, and 2 extra flexes, which can be running back, wide receiver, or tight end. And there is a tight end premium. Tight ends do go very early in these drafts. And that's pretty much it, man. Here we go. 4-point passing touchdown. Can you guys hear me? Did I lose? Did I lose everybody? I have no idea. Hello. Let me know in the chat if you guys can see. It looks like you guys are still with me. All right. 2-point conversion. Everything is the same. What's up in the chat? I'm sorry if I can't answer you guys or respond in the chat, dude. First stream. Trying to get not only the webs off and, you know, shake off the dust, but just figuring out how to stream, bro. It is a new thing. Eli, welcome, brother. Dude, thank you, man. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate it. Glad you like the videos. Glad you like the humor. That's what I'm trying to do, you know, just trying to keep it funny, keep it light. Let's talk ball. Appreciate you dropping in, man. The tight end premium, as I mentioned. We're going to hop into this lobby and start to game plan. I think that's a good way to approach this. Let's see if I'm not even signed in. What am I doing, dude? What kind of operation am I running? The command center is definitely lacking some professionalism, that's for sure. Bro, you're officially, Eli, you are officially the first live stream chatter. I might have to snippet that, dude. Take a picture, put that up on the wall. All right. As I mentioned, Superflex, $35 buy-in, bro. So this is a step up from the usual. Step up from the usual $5 fucking bus stop Magoo leagues that I'm doing, where one person is somebody's dog. Half of the people go AFK after, like, you know, the 3rd round. So this is a little bit, you know, a little bit more on the line, dude. Not all the marbles, but a couple more marbles on the line here. And we get blessed with the 4th pick, I believe. I'm curious if Curious if the draft order gets whipped up once it begins. I doubt it, though. I think I did get the 4th pick. My bit rate is going ham right now, dude. My PC's about to explode. See if I can close BattleNet. Discord, you gotta go. Let's go. First $35 best ball league. It's a super flex, man. Quarterbacks are going to be flying in this draft.
You are up next.
I'm ready up next. Let's see who got drafted. Josh Allen and Lamar off the board. The 4th pick's pretty interesting because you still kind of get your pick of the litter with Jaden Daniels or Jamar Chase. So if he wants to go Jamar Chase here, I'm blessed with JD5. So either way, you're pretty happy.
Now you are on the clock.
Yeah, so he goes with, he goes with Jalen Hurts, which leaves me with JD5. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with JD5. I've yet to start a Superflex league with JD5, or any best ball league for that matter. I haven't really had JD5 in any of my leagues, so curious to see how this team goes out. I mean, in a Superflex league, when you're picking in the top 5, you kind of have to go quarterback. I feel like you just have to wait so long before you can get your first quarterback. That's just my opinion. I mean, I tend to like my teams more when I go 1 QB in one of those first few rounds. But yeah, man. Welcome, everybody. 3 viewers. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. 3 viewers, bro. We're moving up in the world. Let's switch this view to the draft board. I think it's a little more attractive for the stream. Yep, definitely more attractive. I don't know how clear it is, how much you guys can actually see. All right. So the top 4 quarterbacks go off the board per usual. Then we see Jamar Chase, Bijan, Jameer. I think my thought process when it comes to Superflex leagues, especially for those in the first or second round, is that you want to try to get the best player at whatever position you're going to draft from. So if you, like this dude at the 9th spot, he's sitting in a Superflex league and he's feeling like, all right, I need to take a quarterback because it's a Superflex league. But in my opinion, you're better off going with the CeeDee Lamb or, taking an upside shot on like a top running back, because Patrick Mahomes is not going to give you like QB1 potential. There's just really no out. There's really I mean, there is a chance, obviously, you can throw 40 touchdowns again like he used to, but the Chiefs offense seems more than happy to just kind of be a conservative offense and just move the ball very conservatively, lean on the run, take what the defense gives them. Because we do know that defenses nowadays, they're really just playing this like high cover shell. It's basically 2 safeties over the top to stop like the deep passes. And to be fair to Pat Mahomes, he was just short on a couple of big time plays with Xavier Worthy last season that could have really changed their season, right? If some of those, over the top plays actually develop or produce, they might go to that a little more and maybe their season looks a little different. But it was a Chiefs team that definitely was more than happy to just play a very conservative brand of football. But yeah, man. Pretty typical first, second round. I mean, as I mentioned, FFPC is a super flex tight end premium, so that's why we see tight end like Brock Bowers go at the 111. And then this dude goes with the high T at the 12 pick, Saquon and Derrick Henry. I respect it, dude. DeBums. With a name like DeBums, you got to go with the high T double running back pick. Now, depending on who falls to me, I think you have a lot of flexibility when you take a QB in the first round. You can go with another QB. You can go with a running back or a wide receiver if some value falls. It's kind of really up to whatever you want to do. I'm just looking at the board here. Neighbors goes. Devon Achane goes. CMC goes at the 2-4. Pretty standard. Nothing special here with this draft. Nico Collins could be interesting. Puka Nacua, I'm a little bit worried about.
You are up
Matt
next.
Stafford's back injury. Let me know you guys.
Now
think, man,
you are on the clock.
Should we be afraid of Matt Stafford in that injury? I feel like I feel like he should be fine by the time the season rolls around, but I don't know, man. You just never know. I think I have to smash Nico Collins here. Puka Nacua is interesting, but as I mentioned, man, Matt Stafford, the back injury, Devontae Adams, I just don't feel that confident. Like I think Nico can just as easily produce what Puka produces. And I'm not too sure the Rams will be able to tread water without Stafford, man. He's such a difference maker, dude. I'm a Rams fan, and Matt Stafford is truly Himothy. And this is kind of a hot take, but Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, so many great wide receivers with like all-time great seasons. You know, Calvin Johnson, I think he got the Triple Crown, where he led the league in receiving yards, touchdowns, and catches. Cooper Kupp did it. Puka Nacua will probably do it at some point in his career, and I think it's because of Matt Stafford, bro. That's just my opinion, man. He's such an underrated good quarterback. When the Rams traded pretty much their entire future to get him, I was stoked. I was so fucking happy. And look, I mean, we won a Super Bowl after that. So definitely worth. I saw a graphic recently where people were talking about the trade, like the outcome of the trade. I think all the draft picks that the Rams traded to the Lions have been drafted. Like they turned into players already. And like the list is just insane. It's like Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, obviously Goff, a bunch of like, high-end defensive players. Yeah, and nevertheless, the Rams won a Super Bowl.
You are up next.
Anyway, let's focus on this draft, man. It is going to be my pick next. Showing you guys the draft board. I'm drafting at the 4th spot. We got a couple more views coming in. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome. I go with Jaden Daniels and Nico Collins. I tend to like to go wide receiver early. I don't want to be left holding my nuts in my hand and not have a running back. In Superflex leagues, people tend to get a little bit antsy and they start to go on like fat runs, whether it's running back, quarterback, wide receiver. So I tend to want to spread the wealth, diversify the investment, make sure I have a good running back, a good wide receiver, a good QB. That way, as the draft develops, I can kind of do whatever I want, right? You can kind of
now you are on the clock.
Any way you want. So AJ Brown goes. So AJ Brown would have been really, really nice. I would have been really happy to get AJ Brown there at that pick. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with JT, Jonathan Taylor. Let's talk about the draft. Let's do a little bit of a fantasy analysis while we're here, right? So Superflex leagues, quarterback is valuable, but it's not as valuable as people think. I think that's like my general approach to Superflex. It's like you have to start 2 quarterbacks, but you have to start really only 1 quarterback. The second Superflex spot can be like an FFPC, for example. It can be a tight end, because tight ends, there's a tight end premium. So if you wanted to, you could load up on like Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, George Kittle. You can get dudes later that could be serviceable. Like a guy that's super late, fucking Hail Mary, would be like a Chico Okonkwo, who you can get so late. And, keep in mind, Chico Okonkwo at the end of last season, he had a nice little rapport with, to be fair, Mason Rudolph, but it's a new quarterback. They don't really have any like high-end receiving options. Something like Chico Okonkwo could be a nice serviceable player. Why am I talking about fucking Chico Okonkwo? Anyway, let's look at this draft. We are stumbling and bumbling, dude. This is quite a dog shit first live stream. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the shit show. I like this start at the 10th pick where he goes CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, and then swings around and takes Kyler. Now, it really depends how much you like Kyler, right? Kyler is someone where we know what he's capable of. We know what his ceiling is. We know what he can do as a rushing upside quarterback. He was just so bad last season, man. So, maybe he fumbled a little bit there. Maybe he could have went with a different pick at that selection, maybe like a Bo Nix if he was still. No, Bo Nix is gone. I guess Kyler's kind of the last of that little tier. Does that make sense? All right. What else? What do you talk about in these live stream drafts, bro? How's everybody doing, man? Eli, if you're still in here, bro, hit that thumbs up, dude. Like the stream. Let me know if you're still in here. Chilling. And these people are drafting slow as shit. We already have an auto drafter. Come on, man. It's a $35 league, bro. In this economy? In this economy? I think I like my team. JD 5, Nico Collins, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor to me is one of those last, like, I wouldn't really call him a tier 1 quarterback, but I put him on the cusp. He's kind of like 1B. Like it kind of ends at Genty or HN, however you have it ranked. And then it's like JT, Kyron, Bucky in a little tier, like a little mini tier. And then the tier kind of drops to like your Chase Browns, your Kyron Williams. These are kind of like your either they're inefficient or maybe they're a little bit lesser known of a name. Like Chase Brown, he's not that inefficient as a runner, but he also doesn't really have the draft capital and like the big household name. I think that's why people aren't really that confident about Chase Brown in general. I think it's like just the fact that he's kind of like I wouldn't say a mundane name, but comes out of college, doesn't have the most accolades or the most, household name value. Eli, good to see you, bro. Love to see you, man. Let me know what you think, Eli. Fucking, what do you think about Chase Brown, man? Or if you even have any thoughts about Chase Brown. I feel like people are just fading him, right? He's in such a good offense. Seems to be the lead back. Why are people not down? It's kind of the same with George Pickens. I mean, not exactly the same, but it's a similar type vibe. It's like...
Now you are on the clock.
I'm on the clock. I'll finish that thought when I'm done with this. As I mentioned, man, going with one of every pick, so quarterback, running back, wide receiver early, I have so much flexibility now with my next pick. I can essentially take, just to make sure, Nico, JT, Jaden Daniels. I can go with Garrett Wilson here. I think I am going to go with Garrett Wilson. Shoot for the moon here in terms of seeing if he can become like that alpha. See if he can ascend. I think Garrett Wilson can ascend with Justin Fields' new coaching staff. I think a lot of people talk about random players that go off the board or the players that you draft. Oh shit. My stepmom in the chat. What's up, Nudat? Dude, stepmom showing the support, showing the love in the live stream. Let's go. Eli, what do you mean? A lot of people talk about random players that go off the board or the players that you draft. You think I should talk about just the players I draft? It's probably good advice. Oh, what's up, Yusuf? Welcome. Welcome to where dreams are made, where dreams come true.
You are up next.
All right, I'm up next. 2 wide receivers. I have Nico Collins, Garrett Wilson, Jonathan Taylor, and Jaden Daniels. I can have a peek at quarterback and see who's still on the board just to make sure I don't get left. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Eli. No, I meant what you think about Chase Brown, bro. Even more random. This might be a CJ Stroud draft pick if he falls to me. With Nico Collins in the second round, I'm probably going to take Stroud here. A little stackaroni, a little stackarino, a little stackaruski.
Now you are on the clock.
Let me just make sure I'm not overlooking anyone that's still James Cook. James Cook and T. Higgins and Devontae would be interesting. I'm going to go ahead and take Stroud just for the sake of the stack, dude. Yusuf, did you see John Cena? Was it his last fight or his last match last weekend? I think it was his last match. Hell yeah, dude. I don't know if the Rams are going to win. I think the Rams are going to be a good team. I don't know if we can win. I don't know if our defense is good enough. So you saw John Cena. How was it? Oh, it was his last SummerSlam. Yeah. One of the greats. Once he retires, it's the end of an era. That's for sure. All right, let's focus up. Let's talk about this draft. So that was kind of a tough pick because there was a lot of value still on the board. And I do end up going with CJ Stroud because I did draft Nico, which means I do get the stack. Usually I wouldn't take my second quarterback at that juncture. The way I view Superflex is like either take 2 high-end quarterbacks early or take 1 high-end quarterback early and then take another one late. Take the scraps. Take the dude that falls at the end of the draft. Chuba Hubbard, I love that value. I know, Yusuf, it's my first live stream, man. First live stream. The only way these live streams can get viewers, you just have to keep showing up. You have to keep creating the videos. You know, keep scheduling them so that people know you're going to show up every day, and then they start tuning in. The first one is usually going to be just you, your cat, you know, your little brother like you. So I just have to keep doing them, man. Keep doing the live streams, and people are going to start showing up. Hopefully, that's the plan. And then one day you have to be on the stream, Yusuf. Once you know more about fantasy football, I'll bring you on the stream. We'll do a video and we'll call it like Millennial Drafts with Gen Alpha. Can a Gen Alpha win a fantasy league? Child labor? No, I'll pay you. You don't think I'll pay you? Come on. I'll slip a $5 bill your way. I don't even think you could buy anything with $5 today in America. Yo, I was in LA last year. To everyone else, I'm not talking to Yusuf right now, I'm talking to everyone else. I live in Germany, and I was in LA last year visiting family. The prices were absolutely insane. Just for some perspective, you can get a dozen eggs here in Germany for like €2. €2.50, like $2.50 essentially. With the conversion rate, it comes out to like $2.85. It's not even that crazy of a conversion. And it's insane. I went to Jersey Mike's for some lunch in LA, and we spent like $17 on like one sandwich, like one buffalo chicken sandwich. It was insane. I can't understand what's going on. Like, I understand, or we're not going to talk about politics. I understand that back in the day, not back in the day, when the whole Ukraine stuff happened, all the prices rose, but now it's just, I don't get it. You're going to get a PS5 for working for the summer? Damn. Lucky man. When I was your age, I worked a whole summer at my dad's restaurant. And after that, he bought me an MP3 player, bro. Not an iPod. I wanted an iPod Nano. All right, it's my draft pick.
Now you are on the clock.
Let me draft, and then I'll finish that story. All right, Ted McMillan is probably going to be the pick here. I do want to make sure that running backs aren't getting swooped too hard. I've been essentially neglecting this draft and just talking everything except. Yeah, Eli, I'm gonna finish that story after this. James
15 seconds left.
I just made a video about why I'm not too high on James Conner, but at this point in the draft, you got to take what the draft gives you. I don't even remember what the story was, but yeah, dude, the prices are just insane in the States. And yeah, dude, like, I don't know why. Is it inflation? Like, they rose the prices because of energy costs or oil costs? Why aren't the prices going down then? I know they did that minimum wage rise in the States, and everyone was saying, like, if you raise the minimum wage, everything's going to go up double. The cost of goods is going to go up double, if not more. And it did. And now everybody's kind of cucked. But let's talk fantasy, dude. James Conner. Bro, I mean, it's everywhere in the country. It's not just LA. The whole country's expensive. I mean, maybe LA is extra expensive, but let's talk fantasy. This is the worst live stream about fantasy football probably ever created. But it's okay, man. You know, this is how you learn. I went with James Conner in the 6th round because in the 6th round, you're still looking for, like, you know, workhorse running backs. You're looking for guys that you hope will get you production the entire season. You're hoping that they're going to play through the season. Conner last season played his first healthy-ish season. So he played over 14 games for the first time since 2021. So I know he's 30. He's older than my dad, but I think he still had it. He could still play. So that's why I like Conner. And in the 6th round, I mean, I think I have a nice balance. You know, 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. I'm maintaining flexibility. I'm maintaining this amoeba-like state where I can go any which direction. That's the way I like to draft personally. This is a tournament.
You are
too,
up
so
next.
you want to be aware of Week 17 matchups. You want to be aware of stacks because the goal is that you want to win, you know, in those last 3 weeks of the season. That's really what it comes down to, bro. You can win all the way through the tournament. At the end, if you don't have like a strong stack with a good Week 17 matchup, you're just not going to win, bro. Not every single, but everyone that's won like major tournaments, they've done it off the back of like massive games. Right? Like think last year for Bestball Mania and Underdog, it was T Higgins. It was T Higgins, Joe Burrow stacks were like, I think that's what won in the Underdog Bestball Mania. Rashi Rice. Didn't they say about 3 to 4 games? I mean, if Addison got 3 games,
now you are on the
everyone was
clock.
kind of lumping them together in terms of how many games. I think it's going to be 4. I think the bigger question is Judkins, man. I'm super curious what happens with him, dude, bro. They might just kill him. They might just. I can't say that on YouTube, can I? They might just firing squad that man, dude, because it's so much ambiguity around that situation. What are we doing? Who are we drafting here? Is Terry McLaurin still on the board? Probably not, right? Travis Hunter for some upside. I think I'm gonna go with Devontae Smith. Probably should have looked a little deeper. I still had some time, but I really would have loved if Tedero McMillan or Jameson Williams fell to me. But I think Devontae Smith is like the last wide receiver 2 in a tier. I don't know how you guys feel or how you feel about DJ Moore, but I'm not that big on him, bro. Like they were running him at running back. They were using him at running back in practice. Like I don't know if I want my wide receiver to be taking snaps at running back unless it's like Deebo Samuel. I'll pass on that. Thank you, Yusuf, bro. I miss you, man. I miss you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon, dude. I hope you're doing okay. Thanks for dropping in the stream and chatting, dude. You're the GOAT. And dude, John Cena, you can't see me. All right. So let's focus up here. This is how you win these best ball drafts, man. It's the middle rounds. Now, as I mentioned, tight end, it is a tight end premium, so tight end does matter. You don't want to wait too long. You don't want to punt until it's, Jontavian Smith or whatever his name is. Jontavian Sanders, Jatavian, I don't even know his name. But I like my team so far, man. I mean, James Conner is always kind of a tough click. The team never looks, it never feels that great when you have James Conner on it. That's just my opinion, though. Like, he's not a name that, when I see it, like, I could have went with Trevion Henderson. Could I have? No, I couldn't have. He went at the 6'2". I'd have been happy to get Trevion at the 6'9" for sure. What was I saying? Yeah, James Conner is just one of those names that you know he's going to produce for you, but you're not that stoked about it, right? Like Alvin Kamara and James Conner are in a very similar tier, and I just feel like when I see Alvin Kamara's name on my team, it just feels better. It just looks like a better name. I don't know. Does anybody agree with that? Sometimes you just look at a team, you just look at the names, and you're like, yep. Like, those are some names. Those are some players, bro. Those are some locker room players. They're going to bring some grit, you know? James Conner's a locker room guy, but I don't know if he's a number one overall potential type of guy. But I could be wrong. All right, Evan Ingram, Mark Andrews. A nice little tight end run goes off in the 7th and 8th round. It's now my pick.
Now you are on the clock.
Turn the audio off. Probably should have done that earlier. David Njoku's still hanging around, staring at me from the queue. I'm probably going to go with it just to, as I mentioned, spread, diversify the revenue, diversify the income, the investments, making sure that I do get, I do dip my toes into the tight end position to make sure I have someone who's got some upside. I think Njoku is kind of one of those last guys in a tier, right? Because after Njoku, I mean, let's just look at the queue. After Njoku, there's a pretty big fall off. Like, you can make the argument, you can make a case for Jake Ferguson that he should be kind of up in the tier with the Njoku, with Mark Andrews. These are guys that they're going to command targets. They're going to be a pretty decent part of their offense. But do they have that like 10 touchdown upside? Does David Njoku have 10 touchdown upside? I mean, very few tight ends do, right? But like in a perfect world, you get like a Sam Laporta season, right? Or a Trey McBride season, or a George Kittle season. Like, that's kind of what you're doing. In Tucker Kraft, I made a couple of videos about him in the offseason. The man is baby Gronk. He's essentially baby Gronk. Yards after the catch, explosive plays. Kraft is all of it. I was debating going Kraft with my pick. I was even thinking about swinging around and double tapping tight end so that I could just forget about it the rest of the time. But Anthony Richardson is starting to climb up Superflex drafts, man. He's climbing in general because reports out of camp were that Daniel Jones was absolute butt cheeks and Anthony Richardson was looking real good, real nice. So I think it's going to be Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to hold on to the job and he's going to remain the starting quarterback the whole season. It's looking that way, bro. Like, beat writers, beat reporters, fans, everybody's saying it should just be Anthony Richardson. I mean, what is Daniel Jones, bro? The man, his best trait is his fucking neck. He's got one of the best necks in football. He's got one of the best necks, period, dude. Daniel Jones' neck is all time, dude. Just Google a picture of Daniel Jones. Just check out the girth. The excellence, the finesse. He's got a neck that can end wars, dude. Fuck Helen of Troy, dude. Daniel Jones' neck. That's where dreams are made. All right, dude. What are we even saying right now? All right, Jordan Mason off the board. It is now my pick coming up. I am on the clock. I have Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud as my two QBs. I have Nico Collins stacking with Stroud. I have Jonathan Taylor as my anchor running back. James Conner as my second running back, and then Devontae Smith. That is 3 wide receivers. I'm going to take a peek at running back just to see if there's some value. I see Pacheco. Keep in mind, this is a PPR Superflex league, so you do want to lean wide receiver. I do see Juwan Jennings. I do see Chris Olave. A little further down, I know my boy Josh Downs is just waiting for me to draft him. I think I'm going to go with a running back. No, you know what? I'm going to go with a running back, and it's going to be Pacheco. Or is it going to be Caleb? Caleb is so bad at pass blocking, dude. They do not want to use this man. An Aaron Rodgers team with Pacheco. I'm going to go with B-Rob. Now, that was kind of like shot clock. You know when you're at a restaurant and you don't know what you're going to order? And I call it the shot clock, dude. And the waitress comes and you have 5 guys in your head. And you have like one dish that you think you're going to order. And then when the waitress comes, the plans have changed, dude. It's like a fucking Bruce Willis movie. Like, the plans have changed. I'm coming home for Christmas. And you end up ordering the goddamn carne asada burrito at the last minute. even though you thought you were going to get the steak and potato burrito. But anyway, I went with Brian Robinson. I went with Brian Robinson because I have Jaden Daniels. That's essentially how simple. I'm not gonna overcomplicate it, dude. I have Jaden Daniels. I have Brian Robinson. I have Nico Collins. I have CJ Stroud. We're double stacking here, dude. This is a KFC out here. Is it the double stack or is it the triple stack? The triple stack heart attack. I don't know what it's called from KFC, but we are riffing at this point. Yeah, I just want pieces of good offenses, and if you can like stack an offense where anytime the Commanders are down in the red zone, I'm getting points. I'm getting Jaden Daniels points. I'm getting I'm getting Brian Robinson points. I'm getting the Commanders offense, essentially. Now, it would have been nice if I could have stacked maybe a triple stack. Maybe if I could have had Terry McLaurin as well, you're really guaranteeing. I mean, you're still going to get the passing touchdown points from Jaden, right? So I typically don't like stacking a running back and a quarterback, but it's kind of nice sometimes. You're kind of guaranteeing yourself that if you really believe in an offense, if you want to go with Jahmyr Gibbs early and you just go and you swoop Jared Goff a little bit later in the draft, you're taking a bet, right? You're planting your flag on the Detroit Lions offense, which is a pretty good offense to plant your flag in, if I might say so. I'm really hoping Josh Downs falls to me in the next round. That's kind of the bet that I was making. That's why I went with Brian Robinson. But there's a couple of options. There's a couple of dudes that I would like. I would like Jalen Warren, and I'll explain why. But let me first add some guys to my queue just to make sure I don't start panicking. Nope, not Scatabo. Tracy. This is a PPR league, PPR Superflex. So receiving running backs are very valuable. I'm going to add Tajay Spears. Let's go ahead and add Tootin. Tootin's my fucking boy, dude. It was me, Sloan Kettering, Bashal Tootin, and we were blazing it up, dude. What was I going to say about... what was I going to say? Dude, this production is crumbling. I need a producer, man. I need to get my fucking 11-year-old nephew to be my producer and not pay him. Yusuf, if you're still in the draft, dude, you looking for a job, man? I need an intern. Wide receivers. Yeah, there's a couple dudes that I have that I'm really comfortable taking in this range. Matthew Golden, Emeka Egbuka, Josh Downs. Those are the three dudes. Like, obviously, if Chris Olave falls, I probably have to go with Olave there. But what was I gonna fucking say, dude? I was gonna say something about something. I need a producer, man. Keep me on my toes, where I gotta be. Let's look at the draft board. It's a little bit more attractive of a view for the boys. Did it have to do with Jalen Warren? Probably. It probably had to do with Jalen Warren, right? I think I wanted to say Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Caleb Johnson. Okay, Jalen Warren, Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson, the beat reporters, the reports coming out of camp are that Caleb Johnson cannot pass block. And who's his quarterback? It's Aaron fucking Rodgers, dude. Aaron Rodgers is going to spike that man's beverage. He's going to put some ashwagandha in his beverage if Aaron Rodgers gets sacked. Let's remember what happened, dude. Two seasons ago, Aaron Rodgers' debut season with the Jets, first game, like a quarter into the game, not even. It was like maybe 2 drives into the game. He gets sacked, tears his Achilles. I think I have to go back. I have to check the tapes. I have to check the fucking Epstein files. I think it was a blown running back pass block. I think. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that. The one viewer in this live stream. But he's going to hate Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson's a rookie. He's going to hate him. I think Jalen Warren's going to get a lot of playing time. It's back to my pick. I said I need to put my money where my mouth is. I need to stick to my guns, and I need to take Josh Downs because I've made like 3 YouTube videos. I have like 3 or 4 YouTube videos where if you were to check the tapes, dude, the fantasy receipts on me, you'd see that I was gassing up Josh Downs the entire offseason. I'm hoping that this channel remains small enough that fantasy receipts will never fucking find me. Because if he does and sees all the Josh Downs prayers that I've held like Bible study about Josh Downs the past couple months. If fantasy receipts gets hold of the Epstein tapes, of the Josh Downs tapes, I'm screwed, dude. I'm cooked. My career will be done before it even started. They will Nick Fuentes me, dude. Damn. All right. My pick is coming up because I am here at the 4th pick, so my next pick is going to be coming up shortly. Look at this fool. Look at this absolute buster. Jaden Reed. Have you not been on fantasy Twitter, dude, overreacting to every Jaden Reed news report? What is wrong with you? No, I'm actually joking. I think Jaden Reed's actually going to be solid. He's going to be like a nice little slot player. He's not going to be a high volume guy, but he is going to be involved. He's going to get his stuff, his manufactured touches. Everybody likes to say he's going to be the poor Deebo Samuel. I think that's kind of overused. Like, bro, Deebo is kind of a one-on-one. One of one. Such a good yards after the catch guy. He's so shifty. He's such a powerful player. He can go through contact, or at least he used to be able to. Jaden Reed is not the same like through contact player. He's more of like a shifty. He's more of a shifty type of Deebo. I guess he's kind of like Deebo, right? Just cut that, producer Yusuf. Clip that and cut it from the live stream if you can. And I will not pay you after you do it. All right. I filled the queue, so I don't have to think too hard. Emeka Egbuka goes. You hate to see it, but it's okay. I'm kind of obsessed with Matthew Golden at the moment. I'm going through a Matthew Golden phase. I've just been hearing a lot of good things. I mean, I already touched on it when I talked about Jaden Reed. Matthew Golden's been playing it. He's been dominating as the alpha, running the most out wide. This team loves Matthew Golden. I think they have big plans for him, dude. I think if you're looking for a player in these later rounds with a lot of upside, after Josh Downs, stay tuned for the Bible study of Josh Downs coming up this week. But after Josh Downs, Matthew Golden's one of those last guys that I just love his upside, dude. Bro, man. Somebody recently said in one of my YouTube videos, I need to stop saying bro. Did I say bro too much? He said, dude, this one stuck with me, man. This one was like a dagger to my heart. He said, if you said bro less, and if you use less swearing, you might have an interesting YouTube channel. I swear. He commented that, dude. It stuck with me, man. It was like a dagger in my back. I was like, et tu, brute? Et tu, brute? You too, bro? Et tu, brother? Yeah, that was a brutal comment, man, because he's right, dude. I curse too much. I'm on the clock right now. Let me make my pick. Matthew Golden. Pleasure to meet you, dude. Tajay Spears would have been another option here. I guess it really depends. With 3 running backs and only 4 wide receivers, I'm going to go with Matthew Golden. Did I get autoed? No. Yeah, so what was I saying? Again, I need a producer, dude. I don't know what I was saying. Is this Lath? Oh, Lath? El Badao? Welcome to the motherfucking stream, bro. What is up, dude? I saw you playing HOTS earlier, man. I was about to hop on and catch some fucking butcher feeds. It was, dude, I felt it. I felt it in my veins, dude. I wanted to hit the Maltheo feeds. How you doing, bro? How's work, man? Did the tribunal send you to the... You're over there with Leo DiCaprio in limbo? Yeah. Sometimes you gotta, dude. There's like what? One ChatGPT, like... It's not even like a custom ChatGPT AI that's managing the whole Heroes of the Storm report system. It's just like a basic standard free version ChatGPT. You have to like explain to it what Heroes of the Storm is every time. This user named Albadao keeps calling people the N-word. What's the N-word? I was about to drop it in the stream, dude. I forgot I was on YouTube for a sec. Clippy from Windows. Is that like a basic Windows AI? Minesweeper AI? It's the native Minesweeper AI. Brother man, I'm also getting hella excited for... It's officially in the air, dude. The fucking swamp ass of all the 30-plus-year-old obese fantasy football fans with neck beards and bad acne. They're marching, dude, down the hills because they're preparing for fantasy football, dude. You could smell the swamp ass in the air, trickling down the mountain. No, dude, fuck. Taysom Hill, I think he like... I think he got cut in half last year. He got halved. He's got a bad case of being cut in half, dude. He got so fucked last year. He got injured into oblivion. But yeah, he'll probably like reemerge from his cast, from his body cast, run for like 3 touchdowns. Fucking, what's that shit called? Who like nay on someone? Oh shit, it's my pick. All right. I'm pretty much getting all the fucking players that I have like huge boners for at this point. I have Matthew Golden, I have Josh Downs, I have Nico, Jaden Daniels. I mean, we're feeling good, dude. I'll show you the draft board after this. I do want to take a peek at running backs. I think the clock is kind of... All right, Bashal, I mean, come on, dude. What is this draft, dude? Am I drafting with Minesweeper AI? Is this like Microsoft Paint AI? Bashal Tootin still on the board? Come on. Oh, my bad, dude. I'm at the 4 spot. I probably need to add that to the... Damn. Mistakes were made, dude. I should have added that to the title of the stream. Bro, this Operation Lathe, I might have to hire my fucking 10-year-old cousin. I might have to hire my 10-year-old cousin unpaid to come be my producer, dude. And just, he's going to be making John Cena references the whole time and not doing his job. This is all you. Feeding? The butcher feed? Oh, man, dude. I feel like I'm a fucking horrible Fiverr a Pakistani man. Yeah. Probably get somebody from like the Palestinian territories. You can probably get some cheap labor at the moment. Ooh, that's a dark one. Rashad White, dude. What? Come on. Jadon Blue, that would have been a nice pick as well. Lath, I'm drafting at the 4 spot. After my pick, I'll break down the draft for you, for anybody else that's joined late. Yeah, dude, you don't even have to pay them in dollars. You just send like Ritz crackers and like Pringles, and it still won't make it to them. All right. What's my take this year on what, Israel, Gaza, Zionism? I don't know, dude. I think you want to go running back. Okay. We'll talk about redraft, and then, oh shit, it's my pick. Lath. This might be you in this draft. I'm going to go through Rashad. Let me just make sure there are no cool wide receivers. Damn, do I want a third QB? I think I might want a third QB who's not like complete dog shit. I'm going to go with Jackson Dart just to make sure. All right, dude. So in redraft, assuming you need to start, 2 flexes, 2 wide receivers. So we'll just talk about our league. I think you want to go running back early. You want to go at least 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds. And then you want to smash wide receiver, take a good quarterback if one falls. So, yeah, I went 3 QBs late because this is Superflex Bestball. So it's 2 QBs. You can start a tight end in your second QB spot. Tight ends get an extra 0.5, or I believe an extra point. So you don't have to start 2 QBs, but you can. And I do think Jackson Dart ends up starting by the midway point of the season. But back to the strat. Depends where you draft, obviously, but let's say you're drafting like at the 6 spot or the 5 spot. You want to try to take Gibbs, Saquon, Bijan, whoever falls to you. Second round, if Derrick Henry falls, you smash it. If Achane falls, you smash it. If let me look at the board just to if CMC obviously falls, you smash it. Genty, if any of those guys fall, you smash it. JT's kind of the end of like a little tier. But yeah, after that, you take a wide receiver. Maybe you take a Josh Allen in the 3rd round if you're feeling spicy, but you just want to make sure you don't, like, it doesn't feel like one of the seasons where you kind of want to punt QB too late. So every season I always have like a late round QB that I'm really going after. So last season, like, as you know, Lath, I'm not just capping. Jaden Daniels is my guy. I was going after him in like dynasty leagues, redraft leagues, best ball leagues. This doesn't really feel like the season where there's a lot. I think people are getting smart about QBs. Ladd McConkey went in the 3rd. In this draft, 3rd round, dude. And they just signed Keenan Allen. For $8 million. So it wasn't peanuts. It wasn't nothing. They signed him for $8 million. And he was on the Chargers. He knows Herbert. They know each other. You can't take Josh Allen in the 2nd, unfortunately. That's too. You're actually losing value there because he's currently going in like the 3rd, 4th round, mostly 3rd round in redraft. Just take Ladd. He's going to be fine. Ladd in the 5th round. Like, I don't remember the last time I was in a keeper league and I got like fat value at the end of the draft. Like last season, people were keeping like Nico Collins in the 15th round and they still didn't win. I've never had that type of blessing, dude. For me, it's always like 4th, 5th round. I got Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 5th round a couple seasons ago. Fucking Isaiah Pacheco last season. Yeah, bro, dude. Open the Epstein files, man. Read through the sacred text, through the sacred artifacts. Last season, Keenan Allen was actually decent. He was actually not half bad, dude. He was actually pretty good. He was still getting open. Caleb Williams was just a complete butt cheeks of a quarterback. Couldn't make simple throws. Like Caleb Williams and the Bears can be a great team if Caleb Williams just simmers down, dude. Calm down. Watch some fucking Aaron Rodgers tape. The man takes what the defense gives him. He doesn't try to force shit. And you can tell Caleb Williams really wants to be like Aaron Rodgers. He kind of moves like him a little bit. Yeah, dude. Just keep Ladd. Ladd in the 5th round is fine. Totally fine. Damn, Rachaad White could have made it back. He's got small hands, dude. Caleb Williams. Not only does he have small hands, he paints his fingernails. So I'm not gonna say it, dude. I can't say it on YouTube. I'll get demonetized. But you know what I think about that, Lath. It rhymes with day. Tyrone Tracy. I think I made a video about the Giants' backfield in general. Lath, check out one of my videos on my channel. It's called don't draft quarterbacks or running backs from these teams or something like that. I forget the exact name. It's my pick. Let me make my pick real quick. And then you're going to have to remind me what I was saying. Auto pick Cedric Tillman. I mean, dude, every one that I make videos about is following me. All right, so here's what I think about the Giants, Lath. They're expected to be a bottom scoring team with a bottom 10 offensive line. They're not going to have time of possession. They're not going to have pace of play. They're not going to be scoring a lot of points. And it's a committee. It's a two-man committee, most likely. Tyron Tracy should be the lead of it. And if you're in a PPR league, I think Tyron Tracy is the better pick. But in my opinion, my fucking philosophy in fantasy football now is draft good players on good teams who are projected to score a lot of points. That's it, dude. So if you're late in your drafts and you're like, oh, Tyron Tracy's still on the board, dude, I love it. Like, instead, take J.K. Dobbins. Because J.K. Dobbins is going to be on the Broncos, who have the number 2 rated offensive line in the NFL. They're projected to be like a top 6 scoring team. And Sean Payton, head coach for the Broncos, they always use multiple running backs. Always. Think Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. Even when Mark Ingram was gone, Sean Payton still tried to make like no names happen. He never truly went to Alvin Kamara as like a workhorse. But yeah, that's kind of the thinking, right? Jadon Blue, for example, he's going 3 full rounds after Tyrone Tracy, right? And Jadon Blue is getting first team reps for the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys are going to be a very good offense, a very good passing offense, but their run game is going to be dog shit. They have the 29th ranked offensive line this season. But Jadon Blue's getting first team reps, and Jadon Blue is naturally a pass catching running back. So the Cowboys are going to be putting fucking Javonte Williams out on a stretcher. He's going to be getting like 1 yard per carry. They're gonna fucking end his life by firing squad because he's gonna be so bad. Jadon Blue, they're just gonna be like, all right, we're gonna run the ball via the air. We're just gonna short pass, dump off to Jadon Blue. That's like, book it, dude. Clip that. Yusuf, my 10-year-old unpaid intern brother, clip that, dude, because I'm telling you, the Cowboys, Javonte Williams, he's going to get benched. He's so fucking bad, dude. It's hands on sight if I saw that man in public. I'll get my ass beat by a professional NFL player, dude. I don't give a fuck. Hands on sight. I'll hit him with the Khabib, dude. Brother. Try to take it to the ground, get instantly choked, sleeper held by him. Because I don't know any jiu-jitsu, but I watch UFC, so I think I'm fucking... How many people who watch UFC think that they could do those things and they like try to bust it out in a fucking street fight? All right. Brother, smash. I think it's going to be Jalen, right? Jerome Ford is also a potential. But here's the thing about Jerome Ford. All right. Jerome Ford is expected to be the starter coming out or to start the season, but in a tournament Superflex Bestball league, you're playing for weeks, 15 and 17. You need to make it to the ball, and then you're playing for those late weeks. So is Jerome Ford going to help me at the end of the season? No. He might help me get there. He might help me get to the ball, but I want a guy who's going to potentially help me at the end of the season, and that's why I'm going to take another tight end. I'm not going to take any of these guys. It's going to be Chiggy. Talked about Chiggy. Chigo Okonkwo, Lath. If you're going to draft a tight end late in drafts, go with Chigo Okonkwo, dude. If you're just punting tight end until the very end, Chigo Okonkwo. Darren Waller is actually kind of like the more every day. I'm like the chick from 51st Dates, dude. I forget that Darren Waller is fucking. He's got small hands and his bones are made out of like cornflakes. I forget that every day, dude. And I wake up and I see Darren Waller sitting there at the end of the draft. I'm like, oh shit, dude. Darren Waller's actually kind of him. And I draft him, and then every season, his cornflake ass fucking ligaments tear, and he gets injured. Yeah, Chico Conqua's still on the Titans. Still on the Titans, and they don't really have. I mean, let's think about the Titans, bro. They have a new rookie quarterback, Cam Ward, who's a gunslinger. He loves he loves throwing the ball down the field, and they really only have Calvin Ridley. Tyler Lockett's bitch ass is still there, but he's fucking older than my dad, and he was bad last season, and he never once paid for drugs, not once. Dude, I don't think I can upload this live stream to YouTube. Like, I think these are going to be the sacred texts, dude. I might have to paywall this because I talked about Israel, Gaza. I talked about drugs. I talked about I made gay innuendos. I'm just having a solo chat with you, my one viewer. This live stream, dude, is off to a rocky start. But bro, I'm gonna be live streaming almost every day through August. Almost every day. I can't keep it this long. I talked about Epstein, dude. I really did a couple times earlier. Maybe this is quality content, dude. Oh man. It can't be this long, dude. This draft is so fucking long. This is like insane. I don't know why anyone would continue watching this, to be honest. Yeah, it's just consistency, right? Like, if you want a live stream, if you want people to actually tune into his live stream, you just got to keep showing up, dude. People are creatures of habit. Like, they'll only tune in if they know they can, they can familiarize themselves with you, War Mode Fantasy Edition, just talk fucking JFK assassination, Epstein. Bro, War Mode, Lath, I know this is a hot take. We should definitely mock, dude. We should mock and just talk conspiracy theories. That might be my fucking unique selling proposition, bro. Conspiracy theories and mock drafts. Try to find the connection between Mike Gesicki and Benjamin Netanyahu. Follow the trail, the family tree. They might be related, dude. Gesicki and Netanyahu. Gesicki's quite a Aryan man if you look at him, dude. Ben Sinnott too. Ben Sinnott's got to have some Khazarian blood in him, dude. This live stream is going to get flagged, demonetized. I'm not going to make my 13 cents from this live stream. You could say goodbye to those 13 cents that I would have made, bro. That could be a niche. Yeah, Mike Gesicki's got a little bit of a Benjamin Netanyahu dance. Meaning he's got no rhythm. Slaughters children. Wait, what? Wallahi, they were dancing, bro. That's a gangster ass name, dude. Waleed. All right, it's back to my pick, dude. I don't even think we've talked about fantasy in the last 4 rounds. At this point, you're just firing off high upside players, right? Ja'Cory Merritt, if you want to solidify. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ja'Cory Merritt just to solidify the Brian Robinson share that I have. Lath. Yeah, if you look in his ledger, I do see a dancing lesson at the same time as 9/11. Michael Gesicki, age 4. Lath, fucking, to talk about fantasy for a sec, if you ever want to do these best ball, just give you a little bit of background. My most value pick, Lath, in this season in fantasy football, I'll answer that first, is Josh Downs. Josh Downs and Matthew Golden have both, and Emeka, I'm just going to name every single person on the draft board. Fucking Chris Godwin, Michael Pittman, Keon Coleman, Cam Skatibo. Value, dude, value. That's essentially what fantasy analysts are all about, dude. They just, from April until September 5th, or whenever the season starts, You just make sure you've talked about every single player. You just check them off one by one, and you formulate a thesis, or you make them fit into a video. That way, when fucking people want to come, they need to come correct. Now, if people want to come and like fact check you, can always be like, dude, see, I said, bro, last season I said you guys should be drafting Roma Dunze, dude. Like, and then you want to fade everyone as well. Lath, my fucking Death Knight in WoW Classic Pandaria's name, I swear to God, is Clert. Clert, dude. I'm gonna send you a screenshot. It is Clert. Yeah, but my actual most value pick, to be honest, like if we're talking, I'll do one wide receiver and one running back. Let me just make sure I know who I'm gonna take with my next pick. Kirky Cousins. Dude, streaming is a tough endeavor, dude. Your mouth gets drier than a priest in a room full of age women. All right, let me just see who I'm going to draft. Jalen McMills, Jack Betchkes. Let me look at the team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers. I think I got to go with a wide receiver here. Jalen Royals. Interesting. Very interesting. You know what? Jarquez? Nah. Corum? Are there any tight ends that still tickle my fancy? Our boy Theo. Huh. You know, Tyler Conklin is actually the starting tight end for the Chargers now. Believe it or not. He's actually not bad. But I think there's a little bit more upside if I go with a guy like Corum. Because if bruh, Lath, you're a Rams fan. I know he got the extension, but he was one of the worst. He's one of the worst running backs, dude, from an efficiency standpoint. He is a pure volume running back. I made a couple of videos about it. And I even said in my video, like, McVay must be in the Epstein files, and Kyron Williams is abreast of the situation, because I don't know why they just keep giving this man the ball. He fumbles. He's inefficient. He has no burst. He has no like big play potential. He brings nothing to the table. But they extended him. Yeah, I don't know if it's the worst deal of all time, but it's pretty bad, dude. There's no excuse, man. If you're trying to win a Super Bowl with like Matt Stafford with his last couple seasons, if you're trying to make some real big boy plays, like, you can't give I guess an extension isn't gonna like make or break your cap space for this season, but why don't you go out there, dude, and make some plays for like a real difference maker at the running back position? Like, there are tons of teams with expiring older contracts, like a James Conner, who's going to completely shift your team. James Conner's a difference maker, dude. He brings grit. He's efficient. Yards after the catch, yards after contact, goal line. He can bust off big runs still at his fucking old ass age, dude. I don't know. I just don't get it. But listen, I'm not a GM. A lot smarter people are in charge of things there. You know, this might be the last rodeo with Stafford, dude. Yeah, chemo strength. It must be. But it might be the last season with Stafford. And he's got back issues, dude. He's got a back injury already. I don't know, man. Could be a rough season if Stafford goes out. If Stafford is out for the season for any reason, if he gets banged up, or if he can't play and it's Jimmy G, I don't know if you remember Jimmy G, bro. The last time we saw Jimmy G, the man was throwing fucking hospital balls to Devontae Adams. Like, Devontae Adams was, like, visibly on the sideline, like, fuck this motherfucker. Like, he wanted to fight Jimmy G, dude. It was hands on sight between Jimmy G and Garoppolo. And if Stafford is out and it's Jimmy G stepping in, dude, we might see the first, like, Royal Rumble. Or, like, we might see the first, like, hockey-style 1v1 on the field. The refs will, like, clear out the equipment, let Jimmy G and Devontae Adams just fucking spar, dude. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. It'll be the first time. Yeah, Baker Mayfield would have been him. I mean, he is him. Dude, Baker Mayfield actually is goated. The dude had so much, like, what's the word? Panache. That's a great Hans Landa would say. That's a bingo. I just saw fucking Inglourious Bastards recently again. Gorlami. Dominic DeCoco. You talking about Baker? Yeah. I will say, though, because I've done the fucking research, dude. That's, like, all I do now. Liam Cohen was the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers last year. And the dude's an absolute, like, genius. He's an absolute genius offensive mind. Now, you still need a good quarterback to execute. I'm not going to give all the credit to the offensive coordinator, but Liam Cohen's going to be gone. So he is now going to be the head coach for the Jaguars. So we'll see. We'll see if he can do to the Jaguars what he did for the Bucs. But Baker was still Himothy for sure. All right. This draft is way too long, dude. 60-second clock for 20 rounds. This makes for content, dude. This makes for content. Not riveting content, but it makes for content. This live stream is the most live stream you've ever watched. I'm about to fucking get autoed. Jalen Royals, a little upside, late round. If Rashee Rice, he's coming off an injury, probably going to get suspended. Jalen Royals has a chance to cement himself and kind of carve himself out a role for the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of mouths to feed. You got Hollywood, you got Xavier Worthy, you got Kelsey, you got Noah White, as I like to call him, Noah Gray. With these picks, bro, you're just taking shots. Like, Lath, I don't think you play in any best ball leagues, but the way it works is you have, like, a tournament, and you're going to be playing against, like, thousands of people, not just your 12-man league, right? So when you get to, like, the playoffs, if you make it to the playoffs, you're going against the whole field. So you need to be, like, a top scorer, right? So with that in mind, you're really playing for upside. You're playing for the end of the season. Don't worry about age of players. Don't worry about injuries because, if your players get injured, you're fucked anyway. Like, the whole point of this format is you make like 50 drafts. You do 50 different entries, 50 different teams, right? You try to diversify and have as much exposure to different players. So best ball is like a whole different beast. Like, that's why I have so many stacks, right? That's why I have Jaden Daniels and Brian Robinson. That's why I have Nico and CJ Stroud. That's why I drafted I usually would never draft CJ Stroud, like, period. But I only drafted him because it's a tournament best ball league, which means you want to make sure you have good stacks so that in those last weeks, in weeks 15 to 17, you want to make sure you have those massive pop-off stack games. Like, think like T. Higgins and Burrow last year, where T. Higgins had like 3 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, good players on good teams. That's the play. Trying to find like the depth chart value. So if you see a dude who's like I do have rankings, I just don't use them for drafting. It's way too try hard. Like, here's where I would take like a Jalen Coker. Not really on that great of a team. Jalen Naylor's a guy with some upside because we know that Addison's going to be out. We know that Addison is going to be suspended for 3 games. Jalen Naylor, even without the suspension, is the wide receiver 3. He's like the locked in wide receiver 3 for the Vikings. Addison misses 3 games. Naylor gets his chance. Maybe he keeps his role when Addison is back. I'm not saying he's going to replace Addison, but maybe he just keeps some actual usage, right? But yeah, like at this point in the draft, another consideration is maybe like Adonai Mitchell. Showed some promise, but he's been struggling in camp. Dontavian Wicks literally doesn't have hands. Like actually surgically removed, doesn't have hands. Torrey Horton getting a lot of hype in Seahawks camp. At the end of the day, bro, everybody's getting hype, dude. Isaac Tesla is getting hype. Ty Johnson, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen called Ty Johnson the best receiving running back he's ever played with. Like, you can find a fucking a segment or a tidbit about just about every player, bro. You can create a narrative about everyone. So at the end of the day, it's just like, if you're ever trying to break any ties between players, just be like, all right, who's on a better team? That's why I went with Naylor, right? Like, he's on the Vikings. The Vikings have Mike O'Connell. Mike O'Connell is KOC. Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Vikings, one of the greats. Comes from the McVay-Shanahan tree. Leif, my advice, what's up? Random question, but what are your thoughts on Cooper Kupp in Seattle right now? I have no idea where he's going off the board. It might be a pour one out moment for Cooper Kupp, dude. He might be fully cooked. The advanced stats are not very nice to Cooper Kupp last season. Now, high ankle sprain early in the season. It's one of the toughest injuries to come back from. You lose your explosiveness, you lose your lateral speed, you lose your ability to like separate. So that could explain why his numbers were so bad. By the end of the season, the Rams were just using him as a tight end. He was just a blocker down the field. It was just Puka Nacua getting everything. So it's a tough draft pick, bro. It's a tough click because when you see him on the board, it's like, oh, damn, Cooper Kupp, can he still be him? But he's 31. He's going to be the clear second option. He seems to have lost his step and can't separate like he once used to. Now, what if he's healthy and all of that was because of that high ankle sprain? We're going to be eating our words for sure. That's what it comes down to. I want to real quick talk about Cedric Tillman because I drafted him without saying shit. I think I was talking about fucking Khabib Nurmagomedov at the time, but when Amari Cooper got traded from the Browns last year, Cedric Tillman stepped into his role from like weeks, I think 7 and on. Cedric Tillman had a nice little stretch of games for like 3 weeks where he was like a wide receiver 1. He had like 20, 18, and then another 26 fantasy points. And then they had the bye week. Out of the bye, gets concussed, and then he's out for the season. So in the small amount of time that they put this man in a full-time alpha role, in that Amari Cooper role, he was a top 12 wide receiver, top 10 wide receiver. They basically only signed Deontay Johnson in the offseason, the Browns. And Deontay Johnson, like, what's the over-under that he brings a fucking knife to work and like stabs a ball boy? Like, he's going to be out. He's going to be out of the league in another like by next season. Deontay Johnson will be either in jail or out of the league. So Cedric Tillman's going to be the bona fide number 2 guy. That's locked in. And Jerry Jeudy, don't forget, just a year ago, Jerry Jeudy was left for dead, dude. He was considered butt cheeks. He was like, stamp of butt cheeks was put on this man's passport because he was so bad with Denver. And then he goes to the Browns, ends up actually being decent. So I still think the butt cheek stamp is on Jerry Jeudy, in my opinion. I don't think he can escape the allegations of being butt cheeks. But you never know, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, in the fucking 14th round, I'm getting Cedric Tillman, who's going to be, at the minimum, the wide receiver 2 for a team that's not going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be getting blown out and playing from behind. Cedric Tillman, dude. Remember that name. Or don't, actually, because I'm going to be drafting with you. So forget everything you heard in this live stream, Lath. Might have to hit you with the fucking Men in Black memory erase technique, dude. Oh, a secret, Men in the Black technique. The Asian accents are coming out, dude. That's when you know you got to end the stream soon. I think we'll take some. Yeah, we'll take Conklin here. One of the last starting tight ends. All right, dude. That's the draft. McMillan. I kind of like McMillan, but here's the thing. So Godwin, it's looking rough for Godwin, dude. His ankle. They released a picture about Godwin, where his ankle was looking thick, dude. It had some girth. Yeah, we'll look at the board, dude. Thank you, producer Lath, coming in with the good questions. Draft or pass on McMillan? I think I would probably pass, to be honest, in redraft. I just think he's not going to have much value by the end of the season, right? And redraft's all about winning your leagues. So shoot for upside. Shoot for players that are going to be better as the season goes on. Borderline players. All right, I'm just going to tell you some dudes who are on the border of being interesting, and guys that I will draft and guys that I'll pass on. So Juwan Jennings, on the border, draft. He's going to be great. Ricky Pearsall, I think I would fade him, unfortunately. I don't know if there's going to be enough meat on the bone for the 49ers. I think it's going to be Jennings, CMC, Kittle. Ricky Pearsall is going to be the unfortunate guy who's going to show up every now and then. Jaden Reed, unfortunately, you have to just pass. He's not going to get enough volume. He's just a gadget player. Josh Downs, smash, draft. Chris Olave, draft, but just know that he's probably going to get another concussion. He's probably going to be helicoptered out of the stadium at some point during the season. And, yeah, so just keep that in mind. Rome Odunze, he's on the border. I'd probably pass on him. Again, the Bears need to make massive strides for Odunze to return value, because they still have DJ Moore. They just drafted Colson Loveland. All right, who else? In terms of running backs, I guess, which is important, fade the obvious guys, like, fade Aaron Jones. He's just a little too old. He's going to be sharing the backfield this time. Fade Montgomery, because reports say that Jahmyr Gibbs is like the clear lead back. He's starting the game now. It used to be always David Montgomery would start and then Gibbs would come in. It's Gibbs. Fade Tony Pollard, because he's going to be trapped in a very brutal committee, and he's going earlier than Spears, who, is way cheaper and should have similar production. Fade Caleb Johnson, the man can't pass block. He has small hands. Fade Mixon, he's already injured, and he's old, and he never once paid for drugs. Travis Etienne, fade him. The coaching staff doesn't like him. Yeah, that's pretty much it, bro. I mean, I can go through every single pick and tell you draft or pass, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that by round or something, like draft or pass by round. But bro, that does it. My mouth is dry. It's been an hour and a half. This is an hour and a half stream. Holy shit. Nobody's going to watch the replay of this. But that does it, bro. Thank you for attending, Lath. You're the GOAT, dude. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the chat. It was fun catching up. Everybody else who's watching this, either live or later on, stay tuned, man. We're going to be doing more of these live streams throughout the whole summer. We might take it a little bit more serious. Might be more condensed, more concise, but nevertheless, hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.